Craig, when you look at where you are always in the standings, right? It's about making moves based on maybe what other teams are doing around you. And I think you're fortunate enough, even though you're on this little bit of a slump, the teams that you're chasing are kind of struggling a little bit. Does that make it even more important for you to capitalize on this opportunity, knowing that all three wild cards positions are within grasp?
Yeah, I think that's a fair characterization here. In that, we can't do this alone, right? There are interactions between us and other teams. I think the other night when, I looked up, I think every team maybe outside of Cleveland that was ahead of us in the standings had lost. And so, when you win, there's a chance to gain ground. And if, a couple of those days that we didn't win, we didn't lose a ton. So I think, it's really, really important for us to kind of stay in range of the teams that we're chasing, to stay, close to that wild card spot. And obviously, the goal is to get back into playoff contention and, not just, as Alex had said, vie for the third wild card or the second wild card, but to make as much noise as we possibly can.
Craig, just back to Alex for one more second. When you go talking about the fact that he feels comfortable here, his family's here, everything that goes into a decision to sign a contract extension, was that was obviously the case during the offseason before the season started. So what was the biggest change between the conversations you guys had before the season started and right now?
Yeah, I think being totally candid, the change was the relationship between the two of us, right? So Alex could, Alex and his family could love Boston, and this could be the place that they wanted to stay. But if, the relationship between us didn't grow and one of us had felt like we weren't the right partner or complement for each other, then it probably wouldn't have worked out. So I think that was, the piece that both of us were feeling out a little bit. And I think that is totally normal and natural and fair. And I think once, we each kind of had the honest face-to-face, like, hey, I think this can really work, then at that point, the conversations progressed quickly.
Yeah, I've been in a lifelong pursuit of a thought partner, Craig, so maybe one day I'll find one. But what's the latest on Tristan Casas? We've seen varying reports. When do you expect him back, Craig?
Yeah, so he's made quite a bit of progress over the last week or so, where he's taking swings at full intensity and taking full batting practice. So, I think he could find himself in rehab games pretty quickly, as quickly as potentially even the end of this week, which is a great turnaround from where we were in the timeline we were talking about a few weeks ago. I think we've all talked, Alex and I have talked about the sensitive nature of this rehab, in that there are some feelings and tolerance that Tristan needs to work through, but we've been really, really excited about the last week or so and hope to see him in rehab games here shortly.
Now, the benches cleared yesterday, and I'm a big proponent of trash talking. How do you feel about that? Were you a big trash talker? I know maybe that's something we don't know about, Maybe those 5 fun facts you don't know.
Right. If I asked you guys to guess whether or not you thought I was a huge trash talker as a 5'10" journeyman left-handed reliever, what would you guys say?
I think yes.
I would say no.
It's always the quiet ones.
My guess would be no.
I'm with Courtney. I'd say yes, because the quiet one's generally a big-time trash talker.
But Craig, who was the best trash talker you ever played with?
Dustin Pedroia. I don't think it's even close.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. But I mean, I like it. I mean, maybe not the subject matter in this particular case, but I mean, it's it's good to see, right, for the game.
Yeah, and I think what we saw, and obviously, we'll leave specific content aside here, was just guys that care about each other, guys that are protecting their teammates. A ton of emotion and passion, and that's what good teams have. And so even after the game, guys talking about being there for each other, standing up for each other. And yesterday, I think, was an emotional day for a lot of reasons, with the Alex news and then obviously the tough defeat. But we have a chance to catch our breath today, and then we have a really big series coming up starting tomorrow.
Last one from me. Been a lot of shows at Fenway of late. Did you go? Have you seen any musical acts? And are we able to determine from your attendance at any of the concerts what is possibly one of your favorite musical artists?
I was going to lead with that, but then I felt like there was more important things to talk about today. But I did end up seeing the Foo Fighters and Noah Khan. I enjoyed both of those shows, and I think I'm prepared to move the Foo Fighters into one of my top 3 bands.
Okay. All right. Dave
Not Noah?
Grohl, he gets the nod. Noah Khan was excellent.
Yes.
I thought too.
It was an excellent show. I'm not quite as familiar with his music, and so I'll give it some time. But yeah, it was a great show. Both of those were great shows.
All right, Craig Breslow, great job when it comes to Alex Cora, and now get to work and get something done by Tuesday, or a couple things done by Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that is Craig Breslow. Nuggets?
He was
New
good
man.
today.
Nuggets from Craig?
That him and Cora, they have what we seem to be a good relationship.
Thought partner.
A different relationship than he obviously had with Chaim Bloom,
Right.
I would guess.
I thought that was a great answer to Courtney's question about why now, and it's refreshing to hear what we sort of thought, that maybe there was a learning curve there. I was so wrong. I thought that it was Chaim Bloom and Mookie was Cora and Breslow, and even less than a month ago on with Jones and Mago, Cora was like
No. But I mean, Curtis, if you're critical of this team and John Henry specifically for not spending, he certainly was willing to spend for Alex Cora.
But that's yes, absolutely. Great
So you
move.
got to give him credit, as much as it pains you.
Yeah. I've said 1,000 times, John Henry, what he did with this organization is unbelievable. It's great. But just like he doesn't pay people on past performance, we shouldn't give him a lifetime free pass for it.
Right.
They still need to do something Tuesday. But Cora agreeing to stay here makes me feel much more optimistic about the future of this organization.